Hello and welcome to Tyranny of Dragons. I am Mr. DM, and with me are my amazing players. Hello, amazing players.
Hello.
So we're gonna get through. We got an interesting session this evening. So I'm gonna try and fly through the announcements, and then we'll kind of get to it. So. Once again, we have wonderful merch. The first announcements, we have wonderful merch in the merch store. I happen to be wearing the Wizard Mafia shirt.
I want it so bad.
It's so good. It's so good. Like clearly that dude's a wizard. Clearly, but you know.
Yeah, but he's not a mafia. You don't know that he's a mafia.
There's no Wizard Mafia. It says so on the T-shirt. That's how you know.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's true. So that's just one of the amazing things that we have in the merch store right now. If you are a subscriber here on Twitch to the channel, Tier 1 subs get a 5% discount on all purchases in the merch store. Tier 2 gets 10% off, and Tier 3 gets 15% off. But if you are not interested, you can still, obviously, regardless of your subscriber status, can still purchase these wonderful items in the merch store as well. But if you're looking to support us in a different way, we also have our Patreon. And on our Patreon, every 3 months, depending on what tier you actually subscribe to on Patreon, you will get a different gift from players and creators, exclusive things that you cannot actually get anywhere else. You can't get them in our merch stores. You can't get them anyplace else but Patreon. So, but as I always say, even if you're just lurking, even if you're just watching, that is support enough for me, and it is so appreciated. But I want to try and give back a little bit for the support, and that's where all the merch and Patreon stuff happens. So that's our give back to you. It also helps to support all amazing things that we do here on the channel. Second announcement, again, you can buy inspirations for the players. You can buy up to 3 inspirations per person. Make sure that when you do purchase something for purchase an inspiration for our players here, you specify if you want it to actually go to a specific person, or if you want the group to have it, and then the group will decide how it's used during the game. If you're feeling saucy and you want the players to die extra fast, then they're already going to die tonight. You can purchase me DM inspirations. That is not foreshadowing at all. But it is expensive, and you can only do it once per session. So use them, and use them wisely. And as far as any other announcements, as always, please support our amazing folks here. The players here are so amazing. They're so talented. Content creators, writers, actors, just amazing people all around. So during the break, you will absolutely see all of the stuff that they do, all of the contact information, so you can support their things. Please support the things. These are amazing folks. And as I said, I'm constantly amazed that they allow me to DM for them. And I am very blessed. I feel very lucky to do that. So
we're lucky to have you.
Thank you. So with that is all the announcements. I shot through that really fast. Okay.
I'm sorry, this whole chat is hilarious. If nobody's reading chat, you need to be. I'm sorry, it's so good.
It is crazy. So we're going to get to all of the craziness that is going on in chat right now. But up until the time that we do, let us get into our session of Tyranny of dragons. And we are back. All right, so this is going to be some recap, folks. So last we met, you had all made your way at the behest of a number of folks back to the raider campsite for the dragon cult that had been raiding in this area, and more specifically in the city of Greenest. You not only did you infiltrate at one point and save someone that was being interrogated, the monk Leosin Elenthar. You made your way back to find that there was no one at the campsite. Well, no one that you really were looking for. There were some bodies. You did see some hunters entering the camp, and what seemed to be at least two of the leaders still at the campsite. After making their way back into the actual cave where you had earlier seen much of the loot and plunder from the Greenest raid being taken into, you decided that you were going to follow them in and try and get some answers, but at the very least, possibly squeeze the leaders for some information, possibly kill them. Was kind of unsure, but the direction was, let's get in there and get some answers. Upon going into the cave system, you did come across a number of individuals still seemingly guarding this cave. You also not only found out that this is where the treasure was being held from the raids, but apparently this is where there were some dragon eggs being guarded as well. You were mostly successful in the beginning of the fights, but unfortunately, as you entered a central cave system, you came upon a group of berserkers, as well as the leaders you were looking for, and two half-dragons. During this battle, which you, for the most part, you were very successful with, Gorpal did make his way into another cave system, unfortunately drawing the attention of more creatures. Seemingly, this is the way that the two leaders that you were trying to find, the Mondath and Resmir, this is possibly the way that they had went. So, and that in Gorpal's pursuit, unfortunately, not Gorple himself, but most likely the leaders made all of these extra swarms of enemies aware of what was happening in the central cave system. And during this battle, one of your beloved companions, Bocek, fell. Emboldened during the death of Bocek, you continued to fight, unaware of what was happening to Bocek's soul. And that is where we are actually going to begin. Bocek, last week you and I had left off. Your patron goddess, Lyra, had made you aware of certain decisions that you had to make. You are currently standing in a familiar glen. You've been here before, but the big difference being there is a chair at the head of this massive table filled with a smorgasbord of goodies and foods and drink. This large, massive chair, seemingly custom made for your frame, with a heart at the very top of it and your name across the top of the heart. Your specific ask from Lyra was to make a decision to either rejoin your friends or stay with her until your family would actually come back. And that is currently where we are at. So Bocek, you are kind of standing there. Drovar is intently staring at the body of Bocek right now, unaware of what's happening.
I said some decisions being made.
But Bocek, you're not sitting at the table quite yet. You are standing at the table. Waterfall is currently kind of burbling in the distance. The table, you can smell all the foods, all of the drinks. It is a very, very vibrant, more vibrant than when you were, for lack of a better term, living, than anything you've ever seen. Small iridescent bubbles float throughout the actual air. Lyra is just kind of floating cross-legged with just maybe a foot in front of you, seemingly waiting on your decision. What would you like to do?
My friends need help, don't they?
Well, your friends are pretty powerful, and I mean, granted, like they always need you, Bocek, like to bring the fun, sometimes to bring the pain, but mostly to bring the fun. But you know, they're okay. This is not about them though. This is 100% about you, okay? Because you, like I said, I've had my eye on you for a long, long time. And I'm not the only one, but I got to you first. And this is your reward. You can either choose to go back, or you can stay here with me, and then eventually when your family when their time is ready and they pass away, I will make sure that they come here and they all have a seat at the table with you, and you will all be together and happy. But you kind of have to make a decision pretty quick because you picked a really bad place to die.
And as she kind of like says that, and she kind of looks up, it causes you to look up as well. Make a perception check for me, please.
Nine.
As she looks up, and you kind of like you kind of follow her gaze, you see, you're not entirely sure what you're looking at. You're looking at a sky, and the colors are just vibrant, like blues and purples, and the clouds actually look like marshmallows. Like, it is just amazing. But you see that there's something really, really high up, and you're not sure what it is. And then it looks like there's something just very quickly just kind of like falling. And as you're just like unsure, you just, and as you look, it's a rope. And it's just now just dangling on the ground, going up into the sky. And she just kind of stares at you.
If friends need help, I have to try. Or at least try, yes.
Okay. But I gotta warn you though. Okay. So this is your reward. You can stay here with me and have lots of fun forever and make sure other people have fun, including your family. But if you go back, which is not a bad thing, I don't want to, I'm not putting ooh, don't go back. But if you go back, I can't guarantee that when your time comes, you will come to where I am. Because right now, your heart is mine. And so I can tell all the other gods that they can go stick it, that Bochek deserves this reward. But to send you back, I have to kind of take that away. And then, depending on what you do when you go back in your life, another god might lay claim to your spirit. So I just want you to be sure so you make a good decision. You want a drink? Like, that might help.
And then immediately, as she says that, like a beer stein your size just appears in her hand, and there's just foaming bubbles around it, and you can smell it. It just smells like one of your good berry drinks.
Bochek grabs the pint, and then he grabs the rope, and he looks at her, and he just goes, "Listen, go back or not, I will always be Bochek. And being Bochek brought me to you once, being Bochek will bring me to you again."
She kind of nods. She kind of looks at you. And then she kind of, like, a little smirk comes on her face.
That's what I'm counting on. So, all right, sweetie. So you have a drink, all right? And then as soon as you're ready, you're gonna have to make that climb.
And she just points at the rope. And it looks, you're not sure how far that is, but it looks pretty far up.
And when you get to the top, you'll see a hole. And you just go in the hole. And you should be able to go back to your friends.
Bochek chugs and starts climbing.
All right. I need you to make me, in this first part of the climb, pretty simple, athletics check.
That's a nat 20 for a 31.
Nice. You chug that goodberry juice, that goodberry drink, and it is more delicious than you remember it. It is yours. That is your drink, absolutely 100%. But it just tastes better. It just lasts. It just lingers on your palate longer, and yes, you do feel full, like you would, and you're drinking that drink, but you somehow want more. But knowing that your friends need you, you begin making that climb, and there are no knots in it. It is just a rope going straight up, and you just begin and you make it easily what seems to be at least 100 feet in a matter of moments, just going. And as you begin making that climb, we now go back to everyone else. So, the rest of you have made your way, most of you have made your way into this area. Let's bring that area up. You are in the middle of this fight. The body of your friend still on the ground. And we're going to put the appropriate music on now, as we are definitely in a fight. No one has to roll initiative because we are completely in the same initiative as we were previously. And as this fight is going on, there are already a number of casualties on the other side. Drovar has brought up the rear with a skelly friend, who seemingly, for most of you, seems to be like one of the berserkers, but just like most of the flesh is ripped off of the bone. It is still fresh. It is still dripping. You can see muscle. You can see tendons. It is pretty nasty. But for our purposes, this is a skeleton and not a zombie. But as this is going on, we are at the top of the round, which means, Warple, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
So, still standing, over Bocek, he just levels Groin Sinker at this winged kobold. And he goes, I hate you and all your dragon kind, and I'm going to teach this bow to hate you just as much as me. And I will attack him with disadvantage.
Okay, go for it. So you said that was the winged kobold right in front of you, see, right?
Yes.
Okay.
AC 16.
Oh yeah, that hits.
That will be 11 piercing, and if you need, we can do a poison save.
Okay. Actually, yeah, no need. As you loose Groin Seeker, the arrow just going right into the mouth of the flying kobold, and it's just kind of like flying in the air, and it just kind of falls, kind of like a kobold. Let's see, how would I say this? A kobold kebab. There we go. But it is now on the ground, unmoving, not a concern for you at all.
So just so they can't flank us. I know they have pack tactics. Gorple stupidly will step forward again.
Okay.
Just so they can't step over his body and they can't push further. So do any of these look injured?
Let's see. Of these, most of them do not look injured at all. Because as a reminder, last time they fought, they were mostly throwing spears, and unfortunately, that's how they got Bocek. So they didn't actually engage in melee combat yet. So all of them look very fresh, and as you're looking at them, these kobolds are jacked. Like, you can see the veins bulging on their very wiry muscular frames, and they don't look like the kind of shitty kobolds you've encountered thus far. And you're starting to get the impression that they probably saved some of their heavy hitters for this cave system, specifically because of what was in it.
All right, well, I'm going to say something before I continue firing, because I just killed their warlock leader, and I just killed this winged kobold in front of them, and I go, in Draconic, we are the little people, and they order us around. We should take over. Let's take it to them. And I'm going to try to, rally them, because, kobolds are shit on all the time, and I get it.
Okay.
So
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage, because they're clearly ready for a fight and ready to attack. So,
I mean, that disadvantage is my natural 20 into a 16, baby, and I'll use my emboldening bond.
Okay, so 16. That's not bad.
I'm sorry, that's a dirty 20.
Oh, very nice, very nice. All right, let's see something really quick. All right. And then I'm going to do this. So at this point, so you say this, you kind of in Draconic, and at this point in time, just amongst your companions, Amala, you're the only one that kind of understands what Warple's saying as he's kind of like screaming it out loud.
What?
And Drovar's like, Drovar, you think like, yeah, he's letting him have it. He's telling him shit. Yeah. Not sure exactly what they're saying. But Warple, out of this large group that's standing in front of you, F and D pause. And they kind of like, while all of the rest are like ready to attack, like they're just holding their spears out. F and D kind of like slightly hold their spears up and kind of like cock their heads as you say this.
And then I kind of look to Drovar. We might be able to get some of them on our side. And I kind of nod at the two.
Okay.
And then is there any one of them that looks like they don't give a shit about what I said?
A, B, E, and C don't look. They're like ready to attack.
I will shoot E.
Okay.
AC 10, I imagine misses.
Yes, unfortunately it does. So yeah, as you shoot, it just swings by them, really quickly, the arrow scattering against the wall, breaking apart. But you believe that you might have some possible allies. You're not sure yet.
And that's all I got.
Okay. Alrighty. So with that, who do we have next? Okay. So Winged Kobold there is dead. That one is there. That one's dead. Okay. So interesting things are afoot at the Circle K.
I'm old enough to get that.
Yeah. All right. So, it has been 3 rounds since 2 of the sweaty kind of jittery kobolds have dropped to the ground. And so Amala, actually no.
Is it facehugger time? It's facehugger time.
Oh, actually, this is gonna be interesting. So, let me roll this first. Okay. All right. So, a few things happen. Amala, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for your Griffin. So if it doesn't have a specific saving throw, you can just roll a d20 and add the dex modifier.
My Griffin got a 13.
13. That is a success. It will take half damage as you watch as bodies 2 and 3 on the ground just explode. And there are just chunks of kobold all over. Unfortunately, Bocek's body takes a full brunt of that damage, and you watch as Bocek's right leg is completely blown off of his body. Your Griffin will take 4 bludgeoning damage from being pelted by kobold pieces. But fortunately, no one was near number 3. Jeez, you guys are enjoying
What about
this
my skeleton?
so
Is my
much.
skeleton adjacent?
Yeah, make a dexterity saving
Yeah,
throw
I
for your
saw it was
skeleton.
like, oh,
please, yeah.
adjacent. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so, he has no...
I'm sorry, I'm watching the 2 of you lose it over.
Oh my God.
I just can't.
It's like, this is bad. Oh,
Also,
man.
I'm standing on 1 though, Chris.
Right, but that one has not exploded.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, so I rolled a 12, and he has so it's a 14 for his dex save.
Okay, so he succeeds, but because it's bludgeoning damage and he's a skeleton, he will still take full damage because they are vulnerable to bludgeoning damage. So he will take the full 7 bludgeoning damage as he is pelted by kobold guts and claws and bone. Just kind of crackling there a little bit, but those bodies are now gone. Bocek is 1 leg down, and your Griffin has taken some of that damage. Is now kind of covered in guts and such.
Skeleton is still up, but as about half of what he was bone wise. A whole lot of him got hurt by that.
Gotcha. Yeah, a few ribs cracked off. The only thing holding the ribs in place are the remaining pieces of ligament and muscle that were not ripped off when you summoned it. So that you imagine that's probably the only thing holding it together at this point. But yeah, it's still able to move and it's clackety or squishy. All right, so that was their turn.
I am not okay. Guys.
Basha, it is now your turn.
I am not okay.
Drovar, you're on deck.
So Basha's gonna just continue running up the stairs. So that I make it to there.
Okay.
And she's just gonna be shouting like, Jan, attack one that looks dangerous, for me, please. And actually, you know what? No, never mind. Let's put them to sleep. I'm gonna cast sleep at first level again and see what I can get. You said these guys were fresh, right?
Most of them look very fresh.
I wouldn't. Jan would know that. I wouldn't know that, but Jan would know that.
Jan is looking at them, so I would say yeah.
And considering he's been giving me the sportscaster thing this whole time, I'm gonna say that he's like, yes, they are fresh and new, and I'll be like, all right, fine. Then I will
They
just...
don't look like they've taken much damage. I don't know how successful that will be, but you know me, I got back.
All right. Well, let's just, just cast a ray of frost on one of them, and then I will be up there in a minute, and I will put them to sleep. So I'm just gonna do...
Okay.
Ray of frost. Does a 24 hit?
Which are you hitting? Like C? Are you hitting C? Or...
Sorry, I didn't announce which one I was going for. I'm going for actually. I'll go for A. I'll go for A. I'll start at the beginning of the alphabet. We'll go there. Can I see him around the corner?
You cannot see A, because he's around the corner. You do have line of sight with Jan, for everybody except A.
Cool. So then we'll do C then. So yeah, we'll aim for C and see what happens.
All right, go for it.
I think it rolled. So it was a 20. What did I say? 23.
The 23 to hit. Yeah, that'll definitely.
I'm trying to see my log. Sorry, because it opens it weird on this thing. It was actually
24. Was it a 24?
Yes.
Yeah, that hits. That definitely hits.
Okay. So then 9 frost damage.
9 frost damage.
And he is. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was gonna ask what other effect does it have?
He is also going to be it's the cold damage for that, and then his speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of my next turn.
Perfect. All right.
Yes.
So I'll put a little blue ring around him so we know that he is slowed. So as Drovar, you watch as that freaking ghost head just immediately just shoots out like this blue beam of light that hits the kobold. And the kobold immediately, small icicles begin to form on its arms, on its eyelids, on its ears. Yeah, and it just like, it starts shivering complete all over.
Don't worry, you'll get to rest soon.
And Bosch is like, I'm coming!
I'm just going for, I'm gonna go for I'm gonna go for Frosty, the kobold there.
Okay. Well, Bosch, are you done?
Oh, are we?
Yeah, that's it. As I'm just running up the stairs, like, I'm coming, I swear!
Okay, perfect. All right, so Drovar, it is now your turn.
Okay, I'm going reckless because we gotta start cutting these guys down.
And they also got an advantage against you anyway, so you might as well.
That's true. Yeah. So I will go for the frosted one.
Okay, perfect.
A 17.
17 does hit.
15 damage.
Ooh, nice hit. So as your axe kind of digs in, not only does kind of blood spurt, but you can see the icicles that are forming on it just kind of crackle, fall to the ground. It's still like there is steam from the coal just rising from it. Takes the hit, but it's still up.
Oh, you're a tough fucker, aren't you? I'm gonna go for him again.
All right.
Come on. Uh, 20, unnatural 20.
That does hit.
That's
Yeah.
another hit.
Yep.
11 damage.
Another good hit. Yeah, as you kind of lay into him once again. This time slicing a little bit into the chest. Again, just cutting through the ice, cutting through its kind of like leather armor that it's wearing. You pull the axe out, blood is starting to come out, and the steam is rising. Still standing. Looks hard as hell, but is still standing like.
Drovar is professionally impressed. It's like, now, as a former soldier, he's looking at these guys. Do these guys look like they're actually like a military unit? Like they've trained and all that kind of stuff? It's like they're not cringing the way kobolds are kind of.
Yeah, you definitely get that sense that they are better trained, have some kind of. Definitely still kobolds. Like, without a doubt, there is still that, kind of like sheepishness that some kobolds have. It seems like they've been better trained than the ones you've already encountered thus far. Make a quick perception check for me.
Sure. Only a 7. I'm
7.
busy.
Okay, yeah. The only thing you glean is definitely they're better trained. Somebody with military experience has absolutely trained these kobolds. Trying to get that kind of sheepishness out of them.
Yeah, I don't think up to this point I've ever had to hit a kobold more than once to kill it. So he's like that. This guy's taken 2 hits,
Yeah,
and he's still up. He's like, okay, now I'm seeing why Bochek's dead. Okay,
Yeah.
this is ugly.
Yeah.
Okay,
Not good. Yeah, not good. All right, but yeah, he still looks very, very hurt. Looks very hurt. All right, you have movement if you want to use it?
No.
Okay.
Staying put.
All right, perfect.
Skeleton, make your Skelly boy do stuff.
Oh yeah, is Skelly's turn?
You can, he will go on your turn.
Yeah.
Skelly mans.
Skelly comes skittering over here, and so he's got a short sword, and he will just take a little swing. Let's see. Oh, hey, with a +4, that turns into a 21.
Nice, yeah, absolutely hits.
Okay, d6 + 2 damage. Total of 4 points.
4 points. Yeah, as the skeleton kind of like shambles over to this kobold, and it's just coming right up to him. It's like, and goes right into it. The kobold's attention was completely on you. Did not see the skeleton coming, and then just kind of got cut right down the arm, and it's just like, still standing, bloodied as hell, but still standing. And
Okay.
yeah, really, these are definitely tougher
We're
than
in
you
it, lads.
Alrighty. So with that, ball check. You are 100 feet up the rope. You are climbing and climbing. I need you to make me a perception check, please.
6.
6. As you continue climbing up, you hear like a tinkling of bells. And as you kind of look to the side, you can see Lyra is kind of floating, like right next to you, still cross-legged. She's got like a wine goblet in her hand, and she's kind of drinking. And she's just looking at you.
You're doing so well. Keep going.
Lyra, why's my leg itch so much?
Wait, could you repeat that?
Lyra, why does my leg itch so much?
Oh, don't worry about that. Just keep going. You're good. You really need to move faster.
I need you to make, for this second round, another athletics check, please. This time, yeah, just straight athletics. Just straight athletics.
I rolled a 5 for a 16.
Okay. You don't make as much headway as you previously did. You're still able to climb, no problem, but you can feel for some reason, yeah, your leg is a little itchy. It's not responding the way it should. It's like taking you a few more seconds than normal. Like you say, okay, leg, let's go. And then it takes a few seconds and then the leg moves. And so you're finding it hard to not only climb the rope like you just did a few moments ago, but it's bothering you now a little bit. Like, why is this happening? And as you kind of progress upwards, Lyra's just kind of following you, like floating upwards, and she just continues to kind of sip at her wine. All right, so that's bow check. Next up, Amala.
Alrighty, so I'm gonna go and attack the one that's on fire in front of me, because I know he's pretty hurt.
Oh yeah, he's just like, he's still putting the fire, trying to put the fire out. He put like most of the fire out, but there is still like his clothes are now caught. So he's still just trying to get it out.
That's a 26 to hit.
Oh yeah, that definitely hits. What? Which one are you? You're GA, okay.
And that's 9 damage for the first swing.
All right. Yeah, as not even paying the slightest bit of attention to you, as it is like just trying to put itself out, you just cleave it in 2 pieces and immediately go and now there is just the smell of smoldering cobalt as the flames begin to slowly die. They're not completely died out yet. It won't be till next turn that they're died out, but the cobalt doesn't have to worry about being on fire anymore.
Yeah.
You helped it.
I helped. All right, and then I'm going to go for, I believe that's H next to him.
Yes.
That's a 12.
Unfortunately, a 12 does not hit.
We have a bunch of group inspirations. Use it.
Okay, I can do that. I'll use that.
Okay, go for it.
16?
16 does hit.
For 14 damage.
Ooh, very nice. So yeah, this one was also kind of like trying to help put out the other kobold until you sliced it in twain. And as you did, it did see you coming, but unfortunately was not fast enough, and you just slice across the front of its chest, cutting through the leather armor, blood pouring out, and it just and it just starts growling at you, still up.
All right, well, my Griffin's going to be like, oh, blood, and is going to go after him as well.
All right, go for it. Technically speaking, the Griffin is 10 feet from the actual kobold, so you would either have to switch places or it will have to move into the fire to actually make an attack.
All right, I'll switch places.
She could also mount it if it's tall enough in the cave.
Well, if she mounts it, it will not have an attack. It can only move with her. Unfortunately.
Trade places. All right.
Switch!
That's honestly safer because that Griffin's a beefcake.
Yes.
Comparatively to our hit point totals, that Griffin's a fucking beefcake right now.
That Griffin's like, I'll hold this hallway alone.
I got this shit.
That's a 13 for his first attack.
Unfortunately, as the Griffin's beak comes at this kobold, who is now prepared for attacks, the kobold and just kind of dodges out of the way.
All right, so we still have claws, though. Let me try those.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a 9, so
Yeah.
Mr. Griffin misses.
Oh yeah, kobold super quick is just like and it's just kind of like moving out of the way, but absolutely like grabbing its spear and readying itself for it to retaliate. All right.
I think I'm going to be good where I'm at then.
Okay.
Also, Gorple, don't forget that you have +2 to your AC because of my spell.
Alrighty. It is now all of the other kobolds' turns. Oh, wow, that's a lot of stuff. Alright, so. There's a lot to do here. So, A and B are going to attack at Gorple. And because they have pack tactics, they will have advantage on these attacks. So we'll start with A. And they each make 2 attacks. So that's the first attack will be a 14.
That'll miss.
Okay. And then the second attack from A will be a 21 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay. So on the second hit from A, you will take 3 piercing damage from the spear as it's like just goes right at you. B will now make its attack on you with its 2 spear attacks. So the first one will be a 22 to hit.
That will hit.
From that one, you take 4 piercing damage. And then it will take its last attack on you. That'll be a miss with a 10.
Okay, I will use my reaction to try to reduce that one that he took 4 points of damage with my spirit shield.
Okay.
So dwarf ghosties swarm all over in interfering. Wow. Okay, well, it would have reduced the damage by 11, so it reduced that second attack didn't do anything to him.
Oh, thank you, Dwarf Jesus.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, good lad. You're weird and buggy-eyed, but we like you. You get some strange dwarf ghost noogies as they protect you.
That is canon. The dwarf noogies.
Dwarf noogies.
All right. All right. So that was A and B. E and C are going to try to attack you, Drovar.
Yep.
All right. So, and again, they have two attacks each at advantage because of pack tactics. So first attack is going to be a 19 to hit.
Hit.
From that one, you will take 9 reduced to 4 because you are raging. Second attack will be a 19 again.
Yep.
And you will take 5 reduced to 2.
Okay.
Now the second pair of attacks from we'll call him El Shiverino because he is shivering. He comes at you with the spear. I believe that misses with an 8.
Yes.
He's just like, and the shiver, the cold is just causing him to not get you.
Oh, you're too slow.
And next one, 14. Does a 14 hit?
That is also a miss.
Okay. So yeah, it's just shivering too much to actually get any kind of attack on you as much as he's trying.
Oh, lad, your last act on this earth is not going to give you any honor.
All right. H is going to attempt an attack on the Griffin. And while you can't see it, I will clear it a little bit so you can, considering where you were standing, Amala. There is another kobold adjacent to that one, which will allow him his pack tactics advantage.
Wouldn't the fire make it so they could see into the cave?
Because
it creates light.
At this point, it's smolder. It's starting to smolder. It's starting to go down. So I would say I would say it definitely gets about a 5-foot radius at this point. But by next round, it's going to be gone. So the Griffin will get 2 attacks on it. So the first attack will be a 21 to hit. And the Griffin will take 7 piercing damage. Second attack will be a 19 to hit. All right, and the Griffin will take 6 piercing damage from the 2 attacks as the kobold's just like and just kind of like growls at the Griffin, seemingly happy with itself that it actually has drawn blood from this massive creature.
And just making it more angry.
Most likely, yeah. And we come now to F and D. Frankie and David kind of look at each other, and they look at you, Gorple, and they look at each other again, and they look at the companions that are standing next to them, and you watch as they both go back to back, and they go to attack their former kobold companions. Because you made a very persuasive argument, and apparently these two, they get you, man. They understood.
Listen,
They've
we've been shit on. We have to take double the amount of steps. Listen, it's about us. It's our world. Small people, let's take it back.
So Frankie and David there, they still get their pack tactics, and now they get them against their companions. So Frankie is going to attack Bobby Boy there. So 2 attacks to Bobby Boy. 22 to hit, definitely hits. So Bobby Boy will take 2 piercing damage from the first attack. Second attack against Bobby Boy. Ooh, 2 nat 1s. So misses. And Bobby is looking like, huh? Like looks very confused. And then David's going to go after Eddie.
Who's your DM info?
Shush. That was
the best. That was the best.
That was my personal mod trying to be my co-DM here. I will decide when I use my DM inspiration.
It would be very useful right now.
Let's see. That's going to be a 16, so that will hit. That first one will hit. And Eddie takes 7. All right. And then the last attack on Eddie will be, let's see, will it hit? Yeah, that'll definitely hit with a dirty 20. And Eddie will take 6 more as those 2 successful spear strikes from David. Again, Eddie's like, they look very confused now. All right, let's see. I's gonna move down this way, preparing for the fire to dissipate. Jay's moving down, and then that one moves there. And yeah, so what we're gonna do is, so you are aware who your allies are here, we're just gonna give them these red rings. So you have a pretty good idea who's helping you out there. And so now you apparently, you're not sure for how long, but you definitely have 2 allies right now in this fight. And that is their turn. The caster is no more. And that leaves us back at the top of the round with you, Gorple.
I kind of look to Frank and David, and I go, you guys want a dragon egg? We're getting you a dragon egg. And I will hop over B, and so I will provoke from both D and F if they want to take it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, they're definitely going to try their attacks on you. So,
Well, F and D are our allies, so that's why I'm testing to see if they're going to attack me.
I see what you're saying. So A, B, that doesn't. Yeah, they take no reactionary attacks on you whatsoever.
And so while Bobby is looking shocked at his friend, I just pull an arrow and I shoot him in the back.
Okay, they'd be at disadvantage because you are within melee range.
But it would be an advantage because I am flanking.
Oh, absolutely right. There you go. So straight roll.
Oh yeah, 25.
Oh yeah, absolutely hits.
That'll be 11 piercing, and I need a con save versus poison.
All right, so 11 and con save. That is a 7.
He will take 6 poison.
All right. So yeah, as you shoot him like right between the shoulder blades, you just watch him go, and you can begin to see kind of the poison begin to take effect as his arms slightly start drooping as he's holding the spear, still holding it aloft, but
And then I drill him in the back again, or attempt to.
Go for it.
That'll be AC 13, but I'm going to use my emboldening bond.
Okay.
That'll become a 16.
That does hit.
That will be 10 more piercing and another con save, please.
All right. And con save. That's a 21 on the con save.
All right, so I just plug 2 arrows, and I kind of nod to Frankie to be like, hey, man, I got your back.
He's like, yeah, they're starting to look worried now.
I'm going to stay where I am because I just don't want people to rush in from behind us.
Gotcha. Alrighty. So that was Gorple's turn. I need Amala and your Griffin to both make dexterity saving throws for me, please.
Oh, there's another one of the spindly ones under the Griffin, isn't there?
All right, so mine is 16.
That's a success.
And 12 for the Griffin.
12 for the Griffin. Okay, that is also a success. So both of you will be taking half damage, which is you'll be taking 1 bludgeoning damage, each of you, as the other kobold that's underneath the Griffin just explodes once more. The undercarriage of your Griffin now just covered in guts. You got a stray toe that just smacked you in the forehead. And as you just kind of like look, it's actually kind of embedded itself slightly in your forehead. The claw, you just kind of pull it out, which is why you only take 1.
And Knack takes a failed death save, even though he's stabilized, but he still takes 1 failed death save.
That's right. Yeah, Knack is right there. So yeah, 1 failed death save. And thankfully, Bocek's body was not close enough. As a matter of fact, it blew his leg back towards him. But the leg doesn't look like much of a leg anymore.
Quickly, have Knack fail the rest of his death save so he can fly me to the top of the rope.
Yes!
Alrighty. So with that amazingness that just happened, Basha, it is your turn. Drovar on deck.
All right, so panting, heaving, Basha gets to the top of the stairs and is like, all right, I'm here. Oh God, so what is happening?
Yeah. So Enyan is kind of radiating kind of like blue torchlight like around himself, so you can see in that immediate area. And you
I have the goggles.
You also
so
have the
I can
goggles,
see.
yeah.
Yep.
And you also see the body of Bocek on the ground, unmoving, leg blown
now missing
off.
a leg.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Bocek. Well, he has to be all right. I mean, he has to be all right. He's moved, right? Like I say to Jan, like, you know.
His leg moved, before, but, not really him. But there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
And something kind of strange happens with Basha where, like, she just kind of, like, you can see the magic kind of, like, starting to, like, come up and in her eyes and stuff, and she definitely looks, like, pissed. And she kind of just looks over at the other kobolds, and I wasn't gonna use a big spell. I'm going to... See, I can't use that without hitting my friends, so I'm not gonna do
You
that.
can always throw a spell down the tube where Amala is and then free her up to help us.
I don't know if I can see past. Can I see that there's kobolds past them? Like, can I see through that thing?
There's enough light in that area that you can see the first 2 kobolds in that passage.
Okay, so... So, behind Kobold J, because I can't really, because I can cast back, I am going to throw down another Shatter. And it's almost like, if anyone's, like, looking at Basha, it's almost like Basha's not fully home. Like, something else is doing this now at this point. And not, like, in a warlock way, just, like, in a, she's pissed. She doesn't care that, she's casting Shatter in a cave again. Like, it's just like, she's like, no, these people have to die. Yeah. Like, that's, like, where she's at right now.
Drovar definitely glances behind him as she comes running in, and then he sees her eyes kind of... He's like,
yeah,
Mafia in the house!
So I'm going to cast that at 2nd level, and that's my last 2nd level.
Ignore the t-shirt. It's not true. No, it's really here now.
Okay, so that is going to be 18 thunder damage in a 10-foot radius sphere from behind that kobold.
Okay, what do I have to make? A Constitution saving throw?
Constitution saving throw, 15 is your number.
15, okay. So, so 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so we'll start with where you dropped it, because you actually dropped it on a creature that you can't see at this moment.
Oh, look at that. Cool.
So con saving throw. Rolled a 14, but as a -1, so that is a 13. And then let's see. Those 3 are different. So first one is as a dirty 20, so that's a success. Second one is a 6, that's a failure. And then the last one is a 19, so success. So two failures, 2 successes. So what's the damage?
It is 18 thunder damage.
18. All right, so back where you drop the shatter, you hear a ah! You're not sure what that is, but you definitely hit something hard. And the one that fails, we'll say that was Jay that failed it. So he takes the full brunt of that. And 1 second. Okay, yeah. So that happens, and then which one? I and H take half. So I takes 9, and H takes 9. All right, and then you watch as the spears that they're holding in their hand explode just in their hands, and they go ah! Because of that. Let's see. Yeah, they explode. So they are currently weaponless. All right. This is going to be interesting now. So I, J, and H, they are all still standing. They look in various stages of pain. And this fire does look like it's ready to go out at any moment. Actually, this is the end of their turn. It does go out. So that flame dissipates. All right. Anything else you want to do in this moment, Basha?
No, I think she's just giving death stares at all these kobolds that are there. But now I think I'm gonna say that she kind of turns and like looks at A, just like is like staring because he's the closest to Bocek right now. She doesn't know who did it, so yeah. So
Basha, as you're kind of standing there and you're taking this all in, the scene completely in, and you cast the spell, you're not really paying attention. You're kind of seeing, you see where the enemies are, and you're just gotta kill them as quickly as possible. Gotta get to Bocek. Drovar and Amala, you are looking at Basha. Her eyes are completely blue. There is no iris. They're just blue. There is steam seemingly rising off of her. And Drovar, you would actually feel it where you are. It is cold. It is just this cold steam just rising off of her robes, off of her body, and off of her book that she's holding.
Yeah, I just kind of does my breath like frost a little mist as I kind of.
Not yet, but you're starting to feel that chill starting to get closer to you.
I imagine, being that I'm cold-blooded, though far away, I do a little shiver.
Yeah, you do.
It is a temperature change that I would immediately notice.
It is drastic temperature change. Yeah, you would definitely know, but you don't know where that source is coming from yet. Yeah.
I'm gonna guess that I don't feel anything.
Not yet.
What? No,
Not yet.
from where you are.
Well, yeah,
You're a lizard though,
silvers
technically.
are resistant to cold, so like it's like, oh, that's comfy.
But not,
this feels nice.
But not only that, like there is still like a smoldering fire that has just gone out, but there is some heat still coming off of that.
Yeah, the sweat on Drovar's like on his shoulders and stuff is starting to cool fast. He's like, oh hell, you boys really fucked up now.
y'all remember that time I blew up someone's head just from psychic damage? I'm just remembering that. No, I'm saying that like out of game, not like Basha, but like in my head, I'm like, remember that time that thing happened last time she got mad?
Yeah,
I remember.
All right. So you're good. You good, Basha?
Yeah, I'm good. That's it for me.
All right, Drovar, it is your turn.
All right. I would like to let Scully give a shot at at Frosty the Kobold here and see if he can finish the little bugger off.
All right, go for it. Yeah, he looks real messed up.
Natural 13 plus 4, so a 17.
17 does hit.
And a total of 4 points of piercing damage.
Okay, so as the skeleton goes and just like, and the slices just cuts the arm clean off, and rather than a spurt of blood, it's just the blood is crystallized and frozen, as it is still kind of shivering and it's shaking off like the cold, but it is missing an arm and is freaking the fuck out. It is still up.
Damn. Okay, now E's taken 2 spear hits, and he got shot before.
Mm-hmm.
So how bad is E looking?
E, let's see. He looks hurt.
Scully, you disappointed me, lad. All right.
Taking some hits.
Yeah. Okay. Staying reckless. I'm gonna give one swing to E.
Okay.
Just to see how we do here.
Go for it.
Okay, 19.
Definitely hits.
Yeah. 14 damage.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, you slice through the armor, the leather armor that he's wearing. Blood just begins squirting out. He looks really hurt now. Still up, but hurt.
All right, I'm gonna stick with E.
All right.
I'm trying to get one of these guys down, but the Frosty is hanging by a thread. But
I will say this.
The other guy.
I will say this. Frosty looks like if he breathes hard, he might fall over and die. Like,
Yeah, I know.
just giving you that heads up.
But with one arm missing, I mean, is that just sort of like for?
It's kind of it's more flavor than anything.
It's more
else.
flavor.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
I'm gonna kill Frosty and just get it over with.
Okay.
Just put the poor thing out of its misery. Uh, 26.
That does hit. You don't even have to roll damage. 1 hit point. Yeah, one hit
There's a
point.
whole lot.
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay.
All right, so as you go to slice, literally just decapitate his head. As you do, you are cutting through not only flesh but the frozen parts of this kobold's body from Basha's rage, essentially. And the head just kind of like doesn't come clean off, unfortunately, because you don't make it all the way through. But it just and then just like little squirts. And it just falls over, unmoving. Alrighty. Anything else? Any movement?
If Scully can move here, I will move him.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Work with me on this.
Alrighty. So, with that, we'll check. It's now your turn. So, you're continuing to climb the rope. You're making some headway. You've made it at least another 50, 60 feet at this point. And as you're looking up, you can see that, yeah, this rope is coming from somewhere. There's like this dark spot. But it seems maybe it's another 200 feet, 300 feet up. You're not entirely sure. The whole time, Lyra is just floating next to you. Kind of drinking from her wine goblet every now and then. She's cheering you on the whole time. This time, I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
10.
Hey, you got some ghost check inspiration. Want to use it?
Ghost check.
Ghost check.
13.
13 is better than 10. So this time, as you're climbing, you feel this massive pressure. Like it feels like somebody just decided to drop sandbags on your shoulders. But there's physically nothing there, but you feel heavy all of a sudden. And as you kind of like grip tighter on the rope to keep yourself from sliding backwards, Lyra stops drinking from the goblet, looks at you, kind of looks up.
Oh, sweetie, you need to hurry. Yeah, like I said, you picked a really, really bad place to kind of buy it. And I can only hold this together for so long. The god that kind of runs this place is not very happy right now that I'm here. So you might want to pick up the pace just a little.
And as she says that, you just like, you feel that determination, and and then you start pulling yourself upwards and upwards, and it feels like you're carrying another you with you but you begin making steady progress, and you're just making it up the rope, that hole getting a little closer, but still pretty far. And that's your turn. Amala, it is now your turn. What would you like to do?
Perfect. All right. Griffin's going to move up here. Move up. There we go. And I'm going to move over here. I'm going to attack H.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. You watch as they're like looking at their hands where there are no weapons anymore.
That's 18 to hit for the first one.
That definitely hits.
That's 15 damage.
As H is just literally just staring at its hands, as it looks up, it sees your greatsword just in time to kind of cleave it straight down the middle once again as it just falls into two pieces. No longer an issue.
Perfect. All right, I'm going to move up into H's spot and do my second attack on J.
Okay, go for it.
Also going to look back for a split second. Thank you, Basha. That really helped.
Asha does not answer.
So that's a nat 20 for 27.
Ooh, nice.
That is 21 damage.
This one, as you kind of run up, just literally just stepping on the kobold's body that you just sliced. You just like, and you just slice from shoulder to hip, and it just falls apart in two different directions as it just is no longer a threat anymore.
Just like a kung fu movie, just like
Mm-hmm.
Kill Bill style.
Yeah. All right.
Then Griffin's going to attack whatever one's in front of him.
That is I. All right.
He's rolling really poopy. That's only 11.
Yeah, unfortunately, this one is like, and just kind of like definitely evades the first attack from the Griffin.
And also the second, because I rolled another one.
Oh.
Another 5. So
Yeah,
another 11.
This one looks hurt as well, like very hurt, but absolutely like wanting to stay alive. And it's just moving erratically and fast. Unfortunately, your Griffin does not find purchase.
All right, I'm going to yell back to my comrades. Do you guys need help over there?
Ah!
Don't know it.
I'll be over.
Alrighty. Okie dokie. So that is Amala's turn. It is now everybody else's turn. All the kobolds go. So now we are going to, now that we have allies, now that you have allies with you, they actually get to go first. So Frankie is going to continue his attack on B, going at him with the two spear stabs. Let's see how he does. Multi attacks with gets advantage. Yeah, that's a hit with a 19 on the first hit, and then on the second hit, that is that one's a 22. So Frankie's he's looking at Gorple, just shooting in the back, just seems emboldened by a fellow little person just going at it, and it just goes at him. So let's see. Yeah, so Bobby Boy is going to take takes 9 and 3, so total of 12 piercing damage. Bobby Boy is still up, but looks real fucked up. And then Davey is going to attack Edgar. Also multi-attack at advantage. That's a 12. Unfortunately, that does not hit. And then the second spear attack is going to be 15, just hits. And Edgar will take an additional 6 piercing damage. All right. Now, looking very confused, but now seeing the lay of the land, seeing that some of their comrades have turned on them. Yeah, they figure they're going to deal with them later. They're going to keep attacking your group. So Edgar is going to attack you, Drovar.
Yep.
Does not have the advantage of pack tactics.
But I did attack recklessly, so he still gets it.
Thank you for that. Thank you for being honest. Appreciate that.
Fair's fair.
So its first multi-attack, stabby stab, misses at 11. And then the second one continues to go at you. That's an 18 to hit.
Yeah.
All right, and so you will take from Eddie there. I think I was calling him Edgar before. As Eddie, you'll take 3 reduced to 1 because you are raging.
Oh.
And then, yeah, Bobby and Al. I think we called him Al. I don't know. I'm just making it up as I go. Bobby and Al are gonna take attacks on Gorple.
You can join us. You don't have to do this. Ah!
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
Who taught you that language? You're terrible.
All right. So Bobby, they do get their pack tactics because they're standing next to each other. So first attack on you, Gorple, is going to miss with a 10. Second one is going to be... Are you kidding me? 2 natural ones? Now I'm using my DM inspiration to re-roll that. That is not an advantage. That is just a singular roll.
Third natural one. That man.
Are you kidding me?
He stabs his best friend.
That is my third natural one with this guy.
You should have joined me.
Holy shit. So yeah, let's see, I'm gonna roll damage. Hold on. Yeah, he totally stabs Al for 4. Who, and by the way, Al doesn't look like he's taken any hits whatsoever. This is his first hit from his companion. So Al takes 4 piercing from him. And she's like, ah! What the fuck? Are you with them?
Another convert!
This is all draconic. But now Al is looking at Bobby as if he's on your side now. Al is just very confused right now. He's still gonna attack you, Gorple. He still does get the pack tactics, unfortunately. That's a 14. I don't think 14 hits you. And then the second one, yeah, he's rattled by this attack by his friend. This one's a 22 to hit.
Oh, yeah, it hits.
And you will take 7 piercing damage from Al. And Bobby looks fucked up. Edgar looks fucked up. Al looks mostly fresh, except for that just took that 1 hit from his buddy. And he is now smacking him. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And Bobby's like, it was an accident! It was an accident!
I look extremely hurt from that blow.
Okay. But that is
Okay, wait a minute. I've got my reaction. He's within 30 feet of me.
Mm-hmm.
Let me throw that in there. Oh, I'm sorry, only 2 points. You're a little far away, the little dwarf spirits can't get to quite as far. Sorry, I was looking up the odds of rolling 3 natural ones in a row. Apparently, it's 8,000 to 1.
Wow.
I'm just
Take
lucky.
Chris to Vegas. Take the DM to Vegas, baby.
I'm lucky, I guess. Jeez, I can't believe that. 3 natural ones. Jeez, it's crazy. All right. Moving on. Iggy is going to try to attack you, Amala. And gets no pack tactics. So it's just going to be a straight roll with this. Oh. That's another nat 1.
What?
Another fucking nat 1.
All right, you have another DM inspo. Yeah.
Well, no, I used one already.
No,
you have another one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's see. So that's
insane.
That is definitely insane. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna use my other one because fuck that one's. But it's still just a singular roll. Oh yeah, that's better. That's a 9. So that misses. The first hit misses you. But it's punching at you. It doesn't even have a spear. Like it's just. So it's gonna roll again. This is going to be It seems. You gotta be fucking kidding me! Another nat 1.
All right, your computer's broken.
Apparently, I am switching virtual dice because
Yes.
fuck that shit. Jesus.
Dice jail for those dice.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah, virtual dice.
Wow. All right, so Molly, you're fine. Because this kobold's like, and just can't hit you. It is. You're feeling a little sad right now, because it is just very pathetic. This, and again, like very jacked, very like muscular kobold that seems like should be hitting you, not doing a damn thing.
In my brain, all I can
go ahead.
all I can view is just Amal like putting her hand against his head, and he's just like flailing his arms, like trying to reach
Crying, yeah,
And
just like
crying.
weeping, like
You brute.
I hate you! I hate you! I hate you!
All in Draconic, just screaming at you in Draconic. Yeah, alrighty. So that's their turn. Nothing more to be done there. Corporal, top of the round. Your turn. What'd you like to do?
I shoot the traitor in the back.
Oh, Bobby? Yeah, go for it. Yeah, right now he's having a slap fight with Al. Like, because he stabbed him.
That will be 7 piercing, and could I get a con save?
What was it to hit?
24.
Oh yeah, definitely. So 7 piercing on him. Yeah, as he's having this slap fight and you shoot him right in the neck, he just stops, like, with the slapping, like, turns to you, and as he turns to you, the arrow snaps. And as it snaps, more blood just begins shooting out. And it's just like, and reaches out to you, Gorple, and just falls over. Alrighty. So Bobby's out of the game.
I'm gonna step away from A, so I will provoke.
Okay. Alright, so yeah, he will try to swing at you with his spear. That is a big fat 6, and so he whiffs. And you are able to move out of his range.
So he's nearly fresh. How's E looking?
He looks like really hurt.
Okay, because I want to kind of free up Drovar, so I kind of step a few feet back. And I just take a clear shot on E.
Yeah, go for it.
Alright. AC 13.
Unfortunately misses.
I mean, we have a bunch of group inspo if anyone
Yeah.
wouldn't mind me using it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Go for it. Alright, so that's that.
That's an AC 20.
Alright, that hits.
That'll be 7 piercing.
Okay. And con check, right?
Correct.
Alright, so 7 piercing. And that one.
He will take
Five now?
he will take 6 poison.
6 poison. Yeah, so as E is standing there, readying his attack against you, Drovar, and you just watch this arrow, and you blink, because you're not sure if you saw this right. The arrow goes right into his ear. So it's like you see the arrow just for a split second, and then it disappears into the ear. And you just see a little point just pop out of the other side of the head. As it and it just falls over.
That was good. Do it again.
And I kind of like finish, and I'm just staring at my fallen friend Bocek, and I look at A, and I just go, "You should have joined us, buddy, in Draconic. You should have joined us."
He just continues screaming, "Fuck you! Fuck you!"
And I don't do anything with my bonus action.
Okay. Alrighty. Let's see. The rest of them are no longer an issue. So next up is Basha.
Great. So, with the same motion from the last round, where I turn my attention to A, I just lift up a finger and point, and that blue icy energy is focused, and I cast Ray of Frost on him as well.
You still can't see A from the position that you're in.
Oh shoot! Well then I move.
Okay. You'd have to get to like right around where the skeleton is, to be able to see A.
All right. Can I see him?
Yes.
now?
Now you have line of sight. Yes.
Cool. Let's see if I hit him. Does a 15 hit?
15 just hits.
Damn, that's lucky. All right. That's 11 cold damage.
11 cold damage.
And
Nice.
he's slowed by 10 feet until the start of my next turn.
Perfect. All right. There we go. Drovar, make a perception check for me, please.
Sure thing.
I also moved right behind you, too.
Yeah. Only a 5.
5.
I'm just too much going on
All
right now.
It's fucking cold, and now you can see your breath. It's just like, as you turn around, you can see Basha standing behind you, just cold steam just rising off of her. Eyes just blue, just like an ice blue color.
Are they glowing, or is it like Fremen, like all just like blue?
No. Just as if her eyes are no longer there, and there's just ice filling her.
That's so
filling
cool.
spots.
I was gonna say that's chilling, but not intending it as a pun.
Not intending it as a pun, but it's amazing.
It is. So yeah.
It's chilling.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Chilling.
All right. All right. So yeah. So A's movement is halved. He took that damage. Still up, and yeah, the icicles are forming on him, on the eyes and the ears, like just dripping off, and just like cold. All the draconic. All right. That's. Do you want to move anyplace else? Or are you good, Basha?
I mean, I guess I should move out of the way so if he attacks or something. But I think Basha is so focused right now. I don't think she even cares about whether or not it's going to attack her. Like she's just deadly focused right now. So I'm going to say she doesn't move. She's going to stay there.
All right. Perfect. Alrighty, Drovar, you're up.
Okay. Drovar barks out some sort of like in Dwarven, some sort of military command, just falling back on his sort of instinct. However, because he's commanding this skeleton by pure will, the skeleton understands.
Mm-hmm.
So the skeleton is going to move here. And Drovar is going to move here and stand over Bocek.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's like, basically he's just like flanking maneuver, B. And the skeleton just goes where he sort of expects like one of his recruits to have gone.
Okay.
So that they can flank, the kobold.
All right. Well, but technically speaking, where you're standing, you would actually not have line of sight of the kobold. You would have to be here.
Okay.
And then the skelly would have to be here.
That works fine then.
Okay.
So I'll go here and skeleton. So assuming F and D do not take a swing at the skeleton as he runs past.
They do not.
Okay. I will. I'm gonna let the skeleton take the first attack with advantage and just see what happens. Gotta test the new ones. Okay, so we have a 17 plus 4, so a 21 for the skeleton.
That does hit.
Ooh, that was pretty good. 7 points of piercing.
Okay, yeah. It kind of like just shambles over, like, and just hacks into this kobold, and kobold like.
The old shambling shiv move. Yeah, I love that one. Okay, now Drover's like, and just with advantage, just lets him have it.
Perfect.
Okay, 21.
That does hit.
10 damage.
10. Ooh, he's looking real rough, but
All
he's
right, I got
still
one
standing.
more. 24 to hit.
24 does hit.
9 damage.
9. Nice. Still standing, shivering,
Nice.
just blood. The blood is, as the blood is leaving, it is coagulating from the cold on its body, and it's just kind of like staying on the armor. It's really weird. But as you breathe out and you can actually now start to see your breath, you're figuring, holy shit, it's getting much colder in here now.
I'm gonna glance. I've gotten the sense, because I don't speak Draconic, but somehow Gorple's either bribed them, or he's got some mind control over these, stupid kobolds that I don't understand. I just look over and it's like, you might want to tell your friends to go before Basha kills them, if you care. He'll say it in Dwarvish. So they definitely aren't going to pick up on that.
Gorble looks like he has no idea what you said.
No, you speak Dwarvish because you got the bow.
Oh, I do. Oh,
You've told me that, so it's like, the bow will translate for you.
Oh, okay. Just not as the bow.
He just looks behind
the bow.
It's like,
yeah, the bow is like,
Yeah, your friend Rovar says the witch will probably kill him. So you might want to tell him, like, to fuck off.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, look at her. She's,
he's like, yeah, okay.
I got frost in my beard from my breath now.
Alrighty. Anything else you want to do, Drovar?
No.
I just found a new.
I'm going to keep this guy from going anywhere. If he moves anywhere, me or the skeleton are going to cut him down.
Gotcha. All right.
Basha has a new use in the summertime, guys. She's now your personal air conditioner.
I hate
Just
it.
get her real mad.
Yeah, you just gotta piss her off. Yeah.
I have a new meaning for hold my beer. It's not cold. It's not cold enough. All right. Thank you. There we go.
Alrighty. Bocek. It's now your turn. You have continued your climb up this rope. Lyra's still following you, but she is not drinking from the wine goblet anymore. In fact, she doesn't even have it. She's now just consistently like telling you,
Okay, sweetie, come on, you gotta move a little faster. Yeah, things are not good right now.
I need you to make a couple rolls for me. So your first one is going to be a perception check.
Seven.
Okay. As you're just as you're watching her, she looks worried, and you've not seen her worried before. And you kind of look up, and you can see you are fastly approaching this hole. Maybe another 50 or 60 feet or so. Like it's getting closer. It looks weird. You can't really tell what's weird about it, but there's something off. Never mind that it's a hole in the middle of the sky. Never mind that. Like, that's not weird. The hole itself is just a weird looking hole, but you definitely need to get closer to kind of get a feel of what the weirdness is. I now also need you to make another wisdom saving throw for me, please.
I bought you another ghost check inspiration, just in case.
What was that?
Get here in the spirit world. What was that?
18.
18. Okay, that's good. That's great. Yeah, so you still feel that weight on your shoulders, and as you're kind of getting closer, it feels like someone or something has thrown more weight on you. But you just kind of take a deep breath, and you get this resolve, and it doesn't stop your progress, and you continue pulling up the rope, pulling, and your muscles are straining harder than they've ever strained before. You have broken out into this drenching sweat as you're just pulling and as you are fast approaching this hole, you now see what was so weird about it. There are these cracks in the sides of this hole in the sky, essentially. And these cracks are starting to fall away. And where this beautiful blue and purple sky with marshmallow clouds are, as it's starting to fall away, you are starting to feel heat emanating from these cracks and licks of fire and flame coming from these cracks. And as you approach this hole, it is just darkness. And it's confusing because the cracks do not coincide with what you're seeing in this hole. And as you get right up to the hole, and you can see the rope goes into and disappears into the hole. As you reach it, Lyra is right next to you.
Okay, that's it. Go, 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 go.
What do you do?
Are you going to be okay? Because something looked bad.
Don't worry about me. I'm good. Just go, just go, just go.
I go.
And as you look at it, and you're just covered and drenched in sweat, you just pull yourself up and launch yourself into the hole. And as you do, you feel that weight lift. And you feel weightless as you begin to shoot through empty space. And as you look down at your hands, they become transparent, translucent, and then they're gone. And you feel like you're being pulled at incredible speed through this darkness. Amala, it is now your turn.
Ooh. All right. So gonna take my attack on I.
Go for it.
That's a 15.
15 just hits.
That is 13 damage.
13. You hack at Iggy, and Iggy's like, ah! Ah! Still standing, looked real messed up. But still standing.
That's a 22 to hit for my second strike.
Absolutely hits.
That is 10 damage for my second one.
All right. So as you swing with the first one and hit it, and it's just bleeding profusely from all of your hits, you bring your greatsword back around, and as a homage to Bocek, you slice its leg off, and it just it just tips over as blood is now just gushing from its stump, and you see it like desperately trying to put its leg back on as it eventually passes out from the blood loss and is no longer a threat.
Perfect. Alrighty.
All right. You have
So
movement
then-
if you'd like to take it.
Yes, both me and Mr. Griffin are going to move.
Okay.
All right. Is my Griffin able to use his flight speed in this cavern?
The ceilings are only 10 feet high. It really, you could, but its head would be scraping against the top and might do some damage.
All right, but I can still get past Drovar and Freddy over here.
Yeah, you can. It can move past. It just can't stay in. It can't stop in their thing, and it is considered a large creature, so it does take up more than a 5-foot square. So just bear that in mind. It can move a lot faster.
Awesome. All right, well, he's going to take his attacks on A.
All right, yeah, go for it.
That's a nat 20 for a 26.
Yeah, I think that hits.
That is 11 damage from the beak.
Okay. As your Griffin leans in, this kobold is surrounded. It sees itself surrounded, and it's just like, and it's shivering as these icicles are forming on it. And as your Griffin just leaps over, lands next to it, and just in one bite rips its head off. And you can all hear the crunching as it is now just eating the head and swallowing it, and you just watch as it slurps its spinal cord out of the body into the Griffin's throat, and just swallows it whole as A just drops to the ground, unmoving. Is there anything else you'd like to do in this moment? I think that's your whole turn. Right there?
Yeah, because I'm not going to attack anymore.
Okay.
But yeah, just like, bravo, Griffin, bravo.
As it is now the kobold's turn, your buddies Frank and David there see this horrific display of the Griffin literally just ripping the head and spinal cord, essentially a fatality, if you will, and freak the fuck out and begin running. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. They will use a dash action. And they just take off into the other hallway, screaming, "Oh my god! Oh my god!" And they just run. And it's all in Draconic, so Amala and Gorple, you can absolutely know. Like, they're just freaked out at what they just saw. If anybody would like to take attacks of opportunity, this is the time. Because the Griffin, Drovar, Basha, Amala, the skeleton, all of you except for Gorple at this point can take an attack of opportunity if you'd like.
How hurt do they look?
They look pretty fresh. They
look
have
tough enough. I just kind of look over at Gorble and in Dwarvish. It's like, we're letting them go, right? As they're like scurrying past me.
It just means if we encounter them again, they'll be easier to turn.
All right. I let them go.
I'm gonna roll a wisdom saving throw for myself to see if I do it or not.
Okay, fair. That's fair.
I don't do it. I let them go.
Okay.
I think
But
they're
my
afraid
eyes
of my
follow
Griffin.
them the whole way.
Okay. So.
Well, it should be. That thing's terrifying.
All right. In this moment, you kind of stand there for a moment waiting to see if there's any other threat. And in this moment, it seems as if the threat has passed. And we are out of initiative and out of battle.
Amala, can you just heal Knack a little bit? I know you have your magical hands.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely do that for you.
Okay.
I kneel down by Bocek, and it's like, I mean, I've seen plenty of people who aren't getting up again, and I'm just like, oh, God.
All right, 3 points for Knack.
Okay, Knack comes to consciousness.
I kind of like stroke him. I'm like, "Oh, you did really good. Sorry about what I made you do. You're good." And I'll kind of pet him.
All right, we gotta get the fuck out of here, unless we're leaving him behind, which I don't think is really a vote. But
without a word, Basha's going to just cast Tensor's floating disc, and it's normally a ritual, but in this case, she just casts it, and it just appears underneath Bocek and looks up.
Okay.
And his leg, I guess.
I was just gonna say, and his leg.
And his leg.
And the leg. All right. So, yeah, in this moment, you just kind of take stock of what's happened, and Bocek's body is now just kind of floating very lightly on this disc, draped a little awkwardly, as his massive form is just like kind of like on both ends, just kind of like drooping.
A kind of arrangement, sort of like semi-fetal position, just to kind of curl him up a little bit. It's like, all right, get that in there. Yeah, we don't need anything falling off. Get this out of here.
Okay.
I guess we gotta leave.
We're not look. I mean, those little fuckers damn near killed the rest of us. They got some serious military training going on here. They're not the little bastards we're used to. This is a serious effort, and we got spread out too far. They were waiting for us, and if this is any indication what we're dealing with, I mean, what'd you go running off after anyway?
That creature that tried to cast the darkness on us.
Well, you didn't get a finger on him, did you?
No,
no, he's untouched, and that means we're going to deal with him. At least there's 2 or 3 of those things, and one of them outside of that keep in Greenest, he wrecked our ass.
Well, I mean, we killed most of them. It's only him. It's like one of them weird half-dragon things wearing a mask of another dragon. Why would you wear 2 faces? That seems really stupid.
You're wasting time. And Basha looks up, and her eyes have gone back to normal, but now there's just tears like streaming down her face. And she's like, if we are going to go, we need to go now. If we're going to fight, we fight.
All right. I put a hand on Gorbel's, shoulders. Like, do you have any idea how many things are actually in this tunnel? Do you know how far this cave goes? We go. Because if we go down deeper, we're going to get cut off again. And this time we'll all die. We got to get them out of here. We come back with friends. We come back with more folk. They're going to be gone. We'll get more clues. But if we stay here, we don't know what we're dealing with. They're going to kill us. We got to go. Now.
Yeah, Basha's going to just start moving. Whether or not they follow, she's going to start moving back the way they came with the disc.
I look at her, it's like, can that thing go up the shaft that we came down with him on it? Can you make it go up and down?
It will follow me. Yeah, I mean, I think...
I don't know. Does it float up? That's my question. Otherwise, we got to find...
Well, did we climb down a shaft, or did we walk down it?
You climbed down a shaft on the rope.
It will follow us.
All right. We'll use the way out that we used to get in here.
Okay, so you're gonna...
Well, I don't know.
You're gonna make your way back?
Here's a question.
Shoot.
So it says it can go up and down stairs, slopes and the like, but it can't cross an elevation change of 10 feet or more, so it couldn't move over a pit. But that shouldn't be an issue for on the way back, right?
Yeah, no, that's not. Yeah,
okay, all right.
Because you're not crossing over it. You're like going underneath it and then kind of like elevator rising it and then moving it again. So you could if you wanted to. So you're making your way back the way you came.
Yeah, back the way we came. How long does that skeleton stay with us? Because I'm kind of like
you had to roll. You had to roll. I'm trying to remember what it was to see how many hours. It was a D4 to figure out how many hours.
I do not recall, so I'll roll it again.
Yeah, you can roll. You can roll it again.
Okay, 2.
2. So
do
2
I
hours.
Get any sense of a time limit on this, or I don't know when this thing is going to stop?
Considering how strong your will is attached to this creature, I'll say that you'll be able to start feeling the magic diminishing the closer it gets to the time it's going to basically fall apart.
Okay, so it's when the time elapses, it just collapses back into a corpse, as opposed to, I just don't control it, but it's still an undead.
You're unsure at this point. Okay.
But I'll get a sense of, gather around, everybody. We're gonna have to put this down if it doesn't just fall apart.
Yeah, you'll definitely you can feel your will attached to that magic. So in that sense, yeah, you'll be able to get that, but you have no idea what will exactly happen. Okay. When the magic goes.
I put him all the way at the back of the group, so anything that comes up behind us, he takes it first. He just brings up the rear.
I will sort of say over my shoulder, do I need to put it down now?
Well, no, because, hopefully he'll absorb anything. If things come after us, he'll take the first hit. But when it's over, well, we'll see what happens. It's the first time I use this damn thing.
I turn my head back forward, and as I'm passing Jan at that point, I'm like, come on, Jan, and just keep going with Bocek and the thing, and hopefully Jan,
Okay.
Amala, do you mind if I hop on your shoulders? I want to scout ahead so that we don't have to run into any trouble all the way out.
Yeah, sure.
So I hop onto Amala's shoulders, and then I will touch Knack, and I cast Beast Sense, and I will send him flying at 60 out the way we came so that I can see our route. He has dark vision to make sure that we are moving safely and we don't have a threat ahead of us.
All right. So you begin making your way back down the corridor that you came from. All the while, Bocek's body floating on the tensor disc, following you, Basha. As you enter the large cavern with all of the carvings on the walls where you encountered the berserkers and the 2 half dragons. What is the marching order, by the way? Who's
I
in
left
front?
first. I
Okay.
left first, so I'm actually up at the front unless someone wants to pass me. But I just left, so I just started walking.
Gotcha. Okay. So Basha's first. Who's after Basha? I mean, technically Bocek, but after Bocek.
Yeah. Me and Gorble.
Okay, so Gorple and Amala.
Yeah, so Drovar will be the last of the PCs, and then we've got the Griffin and Scully.
Okay, so the Griffin.
And I send Knack ahead of Basha.
Okay, so for the most part, Knack does not give you any kind of forewarning or anything, giving you the indication that it is most likely safe to keep moving forward. Basha, as you enter that large cavern area and you begin making your way towards the end, basically the hole that brought you down to the shaft, you don't make it all the way. You make it halfway into the cavern when you feel your tensor's disc no longer under your command. And as you turn, you watch as it's still there. And Bocek's body is still there. It's just stopped moving toward in the middle of the cavern. The rest of you begin kind of coming into the cavern also, and see Basha just kind of staring at her disc, trying to figure out what's going on.
I'm like reaching out with my magic, trying to like touch it, or and I'm presumably not touching anything, and just being like, "What is happening?"
Yeah, the magic, you can feel that the magic that you used to create it is still there. It's just no longer under your control. Is there anything the rest of you are doing as you're kind of seeing this?
What's going on?
I don't know. Do I sense like someone's casting magic, or there's magic happening?
Make an Arcana check for me.
16.
16. Do me a favor, and also anybody can do this check. Anybody who'd like to roll me a perception check, please. Gorple, what'd you get?
Through Teague's eye or Knack's eyes, and 20.
20. Okay. Mala.
That is a 15.
15. Drovar.
18.
18, and Basha.
9. I'm too focused on the disc and why its magic isn't working.
Okay. So you've not heard it, through your schooling and what have you, Basha, that of any instance of magic being taken out of your control and still existing. Most of the time, if the magic is dissipated, whether it's through dispel magic or some other means, usually the magic just goes and it doesn't sustain. So you're a little thrown off by what this could possibly be, and you're focusing just completely on the disc, somewhat satisfied that Bocek is still fine on the disc, but disconcerted about not actually being able to control it. The rest of you, as you're kind of like looking and watching Basha and you begin looking around, you all can slowly begin to feel a tremor under your feet. It's very slight, but it eventually begins to grow until, Basha, you actually start to feel small rocks and pebbles begin to kind of fall from the ceiling.
Okay. Drovar being, he's like, we gotta go.
Okay.
If you can't get him moving. And I sheath the axe and I just like start picking him up
All right.
off the disc. It's like, we gotta go.
As you go to grab Bocek off of the disc, and Basha, you're the first one to notice this because you are so intently focused on the disc. You watch as the heart tattoo on Bocek's chest, a small bubble rises from it and just. And then Drovar, as you approach Bocek's body, you realize that it's starting to move. And as you kind of look at it, you can notice that there are all these little very like multicolored bubbles beginning to actually form underneath his body, and he begins to kind of rise off of the disc.
Basha, are you doing this?
No, I'm not doing this. Someone took over my magic. I'm not doing this.
I snap back to my own vision because I think that Teague is seeing something crazy, so I have to make sure that that's not true or Knack.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Oh my god!
Yeah.
Witchery!
It's not me!
You all begin to see Bocek's body begin to kind of rise, being held aloft by these bubbles. And occasionally, like, a bubble or two will actually, like, leave his body, and as they pop, you hear a bell tinkle. And as he's actually raised off the disc, he's kind of like held aloft. You actually watch his destroyed leg begin to reform. And as it is reforming, it is fascinating and kind of disgusting at the same time, as you begin to actually see bones begin to grow first, until you actually see a stark white ivory leg. And then you just watch as the rest of his muscles and tendons begin to, like little spaghetti, just begin to form around the leg itself. And then the skin begins to actually grow over the tendons and muscle, until in a moment's notice, his leg is now newly reformed.
Is necromancy this musical?
I've seen lots of necromancy. It does not look like this.
And in a moment, there is this flash of light as all of the bubbles just burst. And as they do, the whole cavern is just inundated with the echo of tinkling of bells. Amala, you have no idea what's going on. You have no reference for what the hell is going on here, but it's weird. And as it explodes, and Bocek is still kind of held aloft, his eyes closed, you watch as his eyes flash open. And as his eyes flash open, he just kind of looks at all of you. A big smile comes across his face as he's just staring down at all of you, still kind of floating above the disc.
I like grab my necklace of Soon, and I'm like, Soon, what is this?
You have the best girlfriend ever.
I know, right?
I kind of like run over and I'll hug his new leg, but so I'm not touching his skin.
Okay. But as
Basha's crying again.
Gorpal, as you run over, and you can see, like, he's kind of hovering in the air above all of you at this point. You go to grab his leg, and as you do, I need everybody except Bocek to make me a strength saving throw, please.
Is there any advantage or?
I will. I will tell you right now how many group inspirations you have. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 group inspirations. There is a ghost check inspiration, and somebody wants me to really kill you guys bad because I have another DM inspiration.
You're still emboldened, John.
I'm a wizard. I rolled an 8. I'm sticking with that. That is
Okay.
fine for
Alright.
a wizard.
All right, so Basha, you got an 8. Warple, what'd you get?
Oddly, I'm a very strong frog. I got a 16.
Nice. Amala?
12.
12. I need you to also roll one for your Griffin also.
And Nat got a 23.
Okay. Well, Knack is in the air, so this wouldn't actually
Okay.
affect Knack, so that's fine. Drovar, what'd you get?
I got, with the embolden's a D4, right? Okay, so a total of 20 for Drovar. The Scully only got a 3.
3. Okay.
And 19 for the Griffin.
19 for the Griffin. Okay, great. All right, so as Gorple, as you go to run to essentially hug Bocek's sandaled foot, and oddly enough, the sandal was regenerated also. So it's not like an empty foot. Like the sandal is there. His tattoos are completely the same on the leg. Everything. As you go to grab, the room violently shakes, knocking Amala, the Skelly, and Basha to the ground. Gwarple, Drovar, and the Griffin are able to center yourself so you don't fall. And as the room shakes, you all hear echo through the cavern.
Your soul is mine.
And you watch as this incredibly large claw surrounds Bocek's body, enveloping it. So you can only at this point see his head and his arms. And as it begins to squeeze, Bocek, your body begins to alight on fire.
What's happening? Guys, what's happening?
You are immolated in a moment, and you watch as Bocek's whole body turns to ash. And inside of the claw, you see a translucent Bocek. And you just watch as the claw pulls back.
I would try to hurl the hunter's livery at his soul to try to capture it.
Okay.
And I would like to, I've got a rage left. I'd like to rage again, get my spirits up, and basically leap in and try to basically tackle Bocek's spirit to have him join my, ancestors.
Okay.
It's like, no, you're not taking him. That's that's the only thing he can think of, but he wants to save him.
Okay. So Drovar, I'm gonna need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Right.
And same thing for you, Gorple.
Do we have any advantages left?
You have a number of group inspirations. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to take one for this advantage.
Okay.
For wisdom save.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep my roll.
All right, Drovar, what'd you get?
A 16.
16. Gorple, what'd you get?
23. Remember, Drovar, we're emboldened because we're a team.
Right. Okay.
We have
that's
teamwork.
Right, we're a team.
DM, is there anything I can roll to maybe see what this is
19.
that's trying to get Bocek?
19. 19 for Drovar. Hold on a second. I will say this. The claw itself is larger than Bocek's actual body. It is that large that it's enveloping him. I will say you can make me, Amala, you can make me I will say a religion or history check. If you are proficient in any of those, you get advantage.
Sweet, I'm proficient in religion.
Okay. Let me know what you get.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. All right. So a number of things happen. Drovar, as you leap at the claw and this translucent Bocek, stepping onto the tensor's disc, which is still there, you actually move in and you find yourself actually going through bow check, and you hit a solid claw. And as you hit the claw, you will take... you take 6 fire damage.
Okay.
As you hit the claw, and as you are calling out to your ancestors and desperately trying to save essentially Bocek's soul in this moment, you find that there's no answer. It's almost as if you still feel the connection, but it is very weakened in this moment. You're not entirely sure why, but it's that connection is not fully there with your ancestors in this moment. And you fall as you hit it, you literally are like sent backwards onto, you're still on the disc. You fall onto the disc. But you look down and your clothes are on fire.
So it's not a this now I'm like, okay, so it's not a spiritual claw grabbing his soul. There's an actual giant creature claw, like a physical thing here.
Mm-hmm. There's some kind of physical thing. Bocek is not physical, but whatever is grasping him
but the claw
is. Yes.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm on the disc, kind of.
Yeah. And your clothes are on fire, so it will be an action for you to actually put yourself out. That you can take in a moment. Okay. But Gorple, you go and you take the livery and you throw it at Bocek. Is there anything that you want to say or do in addition to this?
As I kind of throw it, I kind of look to Knack and I think of all the spirits and what this is. While it might be a prison, it's also a sanctuary for souls, and I will not let my friend be taken. And I go, join me, join us. I can get you back. We can do something. Just don't go. Don't give in. And I kind of just like try to force my will into the livery as I'm like hurling it like almost like a net, like at Bocek's soul. As I'm like, come back. And can I spend an emboldening bond?
If you like. If you
I'm
like
to. I'm gonna drop the emboldening bond on me, Drovar, and Bocek, and I will kind of like channel it into the livery.
Okay. So are you actually you're throwing the livery at him, right? Okay.
Yeah, because he doesn't know, like, he's like thinking like a net, like it would go like a, and capture him as it moves through him.
Okay. So as you begin kind of like you're saying all of this, and it's almost like slow motion as you throw the livery. And again, it is a gem, a green gem that is about the size of your whole palm. And as you throw it, you begin channeling nature, and you just run through all of the true names of things. And as you throw it, you scream, "Bocek, my friend!" And you throw it. And as you throw it, the rest of you watch a few things happen. You watch as Warple's color begins to change. And you watch as his green colored skin gets just slightly lighter, almost taking on a yellowish green tinge. But you also see his eyes begin to glow green. And as the livery leaves your hand, Gorple, you all can see it actually grows in size, almost to the size of a net. As Gorple, you have kind of envisioned this in your mind of what you want to happen. And as it does, you watch as it absolutely envelops not just Bocek, but the claw surrounding Bocek. And as it does, there is this clearly, and Basha, you would know exactly what this is in this moment. There is this clash of energies. You watch as fire begins to lick from the actual claw itself, but the livery, there seems to be this green energy that is combating this the fire energy itself. Almost in a moment, the green energy just goes to some of the fire and just puts it out, but then another fire just shoots out from it, and it's just this battle of energies happening. The whole chamber is shaking from this massive exchange of energies. Rocks are falling, the sounds of almost lightning as these energies are clashing with each other. Basha, is there anything that you would like to do in this moment to try and help this situation?
Do I think, because this claw clearly looks physical, do I think I could cast a spell on it? Or do I think, because it's kind of like, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Well, in this moment, you saw Drovar bounce off of it, so you know it's physical. But you have no idea what you're dealing with.
No, I know, but okay.
And speaking of which, what did you get for your religion check, Amala?
I got a dirty 20.
Dirty 20, okay. You are not 100% sure, but this feels like Tiamat. Basha, what would you like to do?
I don't know if this is smart. I feel like this is dumb. Is there a point that's higher up of this claw, or is the claw just immediately right here where all of us are?
Yeah, it is taking up the entire spot, where essentially, like, it is from the top of the ceiling to the bottom of the actual cavern. It is massive.
Because I kind of want to cast a fireball, but change it to frost damage, because I can do that with my, wizard abilities.
Okay.
But I guess what I'm saying is I want to make sure. Sorry, my phone decided to try talking to us at the same time. I was like, oh god! Anyway, it scared the crap out of me.
Your phone wants to save Bocek too.
I'm just basically, I want to be able to cast a fireball, but I would know the edge of the damage, and I don't want it to hit my friends. And I don't know how much room I have with the claw that's in here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can absolutely put it like behind it, like there. You recall that there was some space behind.
Okay, then
so you can do that.
I'm gonna use my last 3rd level spell of the day, and I'm going to kind of cast my energy back behind as that like blue energy kind of comes back into me. But again, I'm casting fireball as frost damage behind this creature in the hopes that maybe it'll damage it long enough that it can't keep its hold on Bocek anymore, and the livery will capture him. That's the hope.
Okay, so I'm gonna need you to do 2 things. The first thing I need you to do is I need you to roll me an Arcana check.
Oh, okay. That's a 26.
26. Okay. Now, the second thing I need you to do is roll the damage for your fireball.
Okay, I just did. Hold on. 34 damage.
Okay. So, the rest of you are watching this battle. Drovar, you have a front row seat to this. Like, it is like happening right in front of you. You can feel the heat. You can feel like the crackle of the energy around you. Your hair, your beard begins to kind of like start to do that static electricity thing where it's just starting to fluff out and kind of raise slightly. And you're just like, you're what the fuck is going on here? You can see, Drovar, that immediately behind this claw there's some sort of portal. It is actually emerging from some sort of place.
Okay, so the hand is coming out of something.
Yes.
Okay.
But you can just see along the edges, because the rest of the claw is taking up most of the portal.
Right.
And you can feel immense heat coming from that portal.
Am I getting a sense then that the intention is for the claw to close and then withdraw through, like, basically take this and go?
That's what it feels like, yeah.
Okay. If it's my, is it my go again?
Not yet. I'm just saying what you can see thus far.
Ghost check is raising ghost arm.
Yeah.
So, I rolled a intelligence check for Bocek and actually got a natural 19.
Okay. What's your
seeing everything that's going on? Can Ghost Check pluck out his own spectral eye and throw it into the revelry?
We're gonna get to you. Hold on. We're gonna get to you. And with the intelligence, so you roll a 19. What for the total of what?
17.
17. Okay. All right. Just check it.
It is the one time I wanted to see if it was smart enough to have an idea.
Okay. Fair enough. Basha, you cast the fireball, and as you begin to pull the energy from Jan, the rest of you also see that there is cold steam rising from Basha yet again. And as the energy is pulled, you see it starts off as this small, almost small red bead. And as she pulls it out and she just kind of holds it in the air in front of her, in the middle of her fingers, it begins to slowly change color to blue. And as she does, she releases it and it just shoots off. Huge explosion of snow and ice as it just rocks this whole cavern. I need everybody again, except for Bocek, to make a strength saving throw for me, please.
Can I use an inspo, please?
Do we have enough that I can too, or no? Because if not, I'm definitely going down.
I think you... Yes, you do. You have 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm going to use one also then. So
I rolled terribly, but I will not use it.
Okay. All right,
I rolled terribly twice, so it doesn't matter. I don't make it.
Same.
All right, Basha, what'd you get?
Oh, I got an 11.
11. Gorple?
8.
8. Mala?
12.
12. Drovar?
25.
25. Okay.
Stout dwarves, just
Damn.
Basha, Gorple. You're Griffin as well. Mala. I'm gonna say at this point, how many hit points does your Skelly have?
I rolled a paltry 7 saving throw. He had 6 hit points left.
It's 6. I'm gonna say he explodes.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah.
Also a 12 for
12.
the Griffin.
Okay. So Basha, Gorple, Amala, the Griffin, you are all knocked prone to your feet. You don't take any damage, but there are now more rocks and pebbles falling from the top. There is this, not just the explosion itself, but there is this blinding light that blinds all of you for a moment. And in that blindness, you all hear,
You will all pay for your interference. Small, tasty mortals.
and as your vision comes back to you, the claw is no longer there. Bocek, what would you like to have done in this moment?
As I'm being dragged off, since the revelry it's called?
the livery.
The livery.
The livery. That words. I would like to, in my spectral form, have plucked out my own, eye and put it in the livery so they have something to go off of.
Okay.
Since he was trying to use it like a Pokeball to catch my soul.
Gotcha. So you go to pull out your eyeball, and as you kind of reach try to reach for your own face, your fingers just kind of go through your head. And you just keep going, and you just kind of, your hand just keeps passing through your head, and you're very confused. You have no, and you're just, at this point in time, you begin kind of clawing at your face. But then the explosion happens, and you feel the claw release you for a moment. And then blinding light. The rest of you come to, your vision coming back to you. You are still in the cavern. There's no sign of the dragon claw. There's no sign of Bocek. And the gem of the hunter's livery is on the ground, glowing green. And that is where we're going to take our break.
Fucking Tiamat.
So, that's where we're going to take our break, folks. We will be back momentarily to see what the fuck happens next. And in the meantime, just stay with us. As I said, during the break, you will see all the wonderful things, our amazing players, all the projects, all of the things that they do. You'll see all of that during the break. As I said, if you get a chance, please support all the amazing stuff that they do. But we will be taking a break, and we'll be back shortly. Don't go away. we are back, folks. So, you've all witnessed some crazy shit in the last few moments. But as you, most of you, begin to kind of come to your feet after being knocked prone from the massive explosion here, covered in rock and dirt and debris, the only thing left of this strange spiritual battle is Tensor's floating disc, which is still there, and on the ground, covered slightly in some debris, is the hunter's livery, kind of pulsing this green glow that quickly subsides.
As soon as Amala's on her feet, even before she gets up, she is swearing in Draconic. You probably never heard some of these words before, Warple. Just cursing every single thing that she can think of for Tiamat. And she will turn to everyone and tell them in common, that was Tiamat's claw. I'm for sure. I know this. Tiamat may have Bocek.
Yeah,
We'll kind of saddle up and pick up the hunter's livery.
Yeah. Is any of Bocek's physical items like that magic sword or the claw or any of that other stuff?
As you begin going through the ashes of what was Bocek, any of his magical items and including his coin pouch are in the actual pile of ashes. So his belongings are there, but his body seems to have just been turned to ash. You still can find under some of the debris Bocek's leg. That was blown off from the initial fight.
The first time.
Yes. So his leg still is there. It's mangled. It is bloodied. The bones are splintered and broken and sticking through the flesh in different areas, but it is there. His knuckles, there is a gourd, not gourd, there is the small little keg that he carried around and make his brew, that is there. His pouch of coins, the pouch itself is still kind of smoldering, but the coins inside seem mostly intact. They are a little melted on the edges, but are probably still fine. But outside of that, there is nothing left that you can find other than those things of Bocek. Vorpal, you go to pick up the hunter's livery, and as you do, there is this large crack in the middle of it. And you look around and you call for Knack, and Knack is nowhere to be found.
He nods, and he'll put the hunter's livery on.
Okay.
And I will begin carefully with another pouch, scooping up Bocek's ashes.
Okay.
Since all this has happened, Basha did not ever fully get up. She kind of has just been stuck there on her knees and is kind of staring off into space, and she just starts sobbing, whatever magic was around her is gone, dissipates, there's nothing there, and she's just sobbing on the ground. She's not even, she didn't even get up.
Okay. Amala, you can see that almost, it is now very, very clear to you as you kind of look during, Gorple and Drovar kind of going through the ashes and the belongings, and Basha's crying. As you look up, you see exactly where the claw was coming from is that carved out shrine of Tiamat is right there. It's still there, seemingly untouched, and there's still a chest sitting in front of the actual shrine itself.
I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna open up the chest.
Okay. Let's see. So as you approach this this actual statue, this carving, you can see also the reliefs that were carved into the walls, and all of the dragons. There's multiple carvings of dragons, and as you're looking at them, you start to see the same thing Basha did. That most of the dragons on here seem to be of the chromatic type, and as you look closer, the larger ones seem to be mostly black. And as you see the tails of these dragons kind of coil into these intricate patterns and knots that kind of flow across both sides of the walls of the statue. The statue itself, 5-headed dragon rising from an erupting volcano. The other dragons, which seem dwarfed by the 5-headed monstrosity, flock to its side. And as I said previously, the black head of Tiamat seems to be the more pronounced on this carving. As you approach the chest, you see it is silver and with mother of pearl inlay, and it's just kind of sitting there right in front of the statue.
All right. After looking at everything, and I am going to just open up the chest.
Okay. So you go to open up the chest, and it doesn't seem to move. It seems to be locked.
Well, I'm going to force that open.
Okay. All right. So make me a. How are you going to force it over? Are you just going to like attack it, or how are you going to try and open it?
Is there like a lock that I can see on it, or would it be like locked from the inside?
Well, you can see like there's definitely a place for a key, but the lock itself seems to be part of the actual box. It doesn't seem to be like, you know, a separate lock that's just hanging. It seems to be like part of the actual chest. But you know, it does have you know an actual. You can see where the lid is. There is a slight, you know, the slight opening that, you know, you can see, but it is clearly locked. So there are a number of different things you could do if you're going to try and force it open. How are you going to try and force it open?
I'm just going to try to like rip the top off or try to get it loose and just you know, be able to get inside.
Make an athletics check for me, please.
That's only a 12.
12. You're trying to pull this up, and just you're so pissed off at everything that just happened. Seeing Tiamat, you know, you believe seeing Tiamat's claw like just right there in front of you, and you could do nothing to stop it. You just and you just trying to open it, and unfortunately it's just not giving. You can feel a slight shift, but it's just not opening.
Can I try to like use a little bit of like, because I don't have my breath weapon up and ready, but can I use a little bit of like that cold breath to try to like freeze the lock and like get the mechanisms to like crack?
Because you've already used a breath weapon, you feel like you wouldn't be able to do something like that until you rested.
I will look up as I'm kind of like carefully tapping the ash out into like probably a piece of cloth or something, so he's collecting all of it, just kind of wiping it down. It's like, what are you doing, Les? There's
the silver chest in front of this Tiamat shrine. Maybe there's something in there that can help us.
Nothing. He mutters a phrase in Dwarven that's basically, it translates basically to Weregild. He's like, oh, we're taking that. And he looks at Gorb, like, can you get that open? Strength doesn't seem to be working. It's probably trapped with fire.
Okay. And I'll kind of leave the pouch with Drovar, so he continues, and I'll kind of sullenly hop over to Amala and go, here, let me look. And I'll take an eye. I'll check out the keyhole to see if it's trapped.
Okay. Make me an investigation check, please.
And I will guide myself.
Okay.
Sorry, 18.
18. Yeah, this is not only locked, but it is definitely trapped. And it seems like a very complex trap.
It's really locked and trapped, so here, step away. And I'll take it so that I'm about like 20 to 30 feet away from everyone.
Okay,
in the corner.
One question: does it look like the chest can be? I mean, the chest is made of such precious materials. Does it look like it could be just taken with us without opening it? Like, is it like part of the floor?
You could try.
I'm not go over there. I'm just kind of looking at it. It's like, can we just?
Well, there's so much debris from the explosion and everything that around it that maybe you can't tell. You actually have to try and.
But if it's trapped, it might go off anyway. So
it might have a pressure plate.
Yeah, I just leave it be.
All right, I'll guide myself again, and I will attempt to disarm the lock or disarm the trap.
Okay. Yeah. So make me a thieves' tool check. D20 proficiency and Dex modifier.
That is only a 13. Do we have any group inspiration I could use?
You do. There are currently 2 group inspirations left.
Then I'll use one because I'll turn that 13 into a 20.
Okay. You begin futzing with the trap first, and as you kind of get in there and you can see just how complicated it is, you begin just ever so slightly just not just trying to disarm it at first, but trying to figure out exactly what it is. And even after a few moments, you're still a little unsure, but you can see where the actual trap mechanism is. And after just giving up on trying to figure out exactly what this trap is, but knowing you can disarm it, you actually go to the mechanism and using your tools are able to disconnect it from the actual lock itself. And as you do, you begin hearing and as you're hearing this, you hear this like almost hissing sound coming from behind you. And as you turn around, you see that in the mouths of each of the dragon heads, there is this hole. And as you're standing there and you hear whatever air was trapped in those tubes was what you were hearing as the air was pushed out. But because you disconnected the trap, whatever liquids might have sprayed through these tubes will no longer be pushed through because now there's no more air to push them through.
That's good. I bet that was acid kind of looking at the black head.
It stares ominously at you.
And I will attempt to unlock it.
Okay. Same check, please.
I will guide myself.
While Gorbel's doing this, I will have another question for you then.
Okay. Go for it. What do you want to ask?
Can I roll religion to see what would happen if I desecrated the shrine?
Yeah. Roll me a religion check. Gorple, what'd you get?
I rolled a natural 1, so unless people want me to use a group inspiration, I'm about to break a lockpick. It's up to you guys. I don't know.
Please do.
This is loot.
Please do.
We gotta get some. We gotta,
Okay. So at this moment, no more group inspirations.
Also, I rolled a 13 on the religion.
Okay. If you desecrated this shrine to Tiamat, at the very least, you know that Bahamut would be pleased. You're not entirely sure like what the repercussions may be, but you feel like it's not a bad idea to do it.
Right. I'm angry and I'm gonna do it. All right, back to Gorple.
Okay.
28.
28. Now that the actual trap mechanism has been disarmed, the lock itself doesn't give you much trouble. It is very complicated, but with some time, you are able to unlock it, and then there is a final, and the lid slightly opens. The contents are now yours for you to peruse. As you open it up, let's see. Yeah, as you open it up, there are a number of pouches, black velvet pouches with many, many different things in them. You go to the first one, you kind of open it up. There is this string of pearls. Beautiful, iridescent. Even in the very, very, very low light in here, they seem to have some kind of glow to them. While you don't necessarily think they're magic, they definitely look very expensive. Maybe about, to the right person, anywhere between 250 to 300 gold for these pearls. There's also a gold and sapphire ring. Beautiful, beautifully made. Seems more expensive than the pearls. Again, to the right person, anywhere between 700 to 900 gold pieces, just for the ring. There is another pouch as you open that up. There are about half a dozen cut and polished precious stones. They seem to be anywhere between 90 to 100 gold pieces each. Let's see. And the last pouch, as you open it up, it's very odd. There are what look like these small little curved teeth on necklaces. And the necklaces themselves just seem to be like a leather string. There's half a dozen in here.
Weird. Can I make a nature check to see if I can figure out what kind of animal these teeth belong to?
Sure.
Natural 20 for a 24.
These seem to be the teeth of a very young dragon. You're not sure what kind of dragon, but these are definitely draconic teeth. And as you inspect them a little more closely, each of these small teeth have a faint rune carved into them.
Basha, I found some stuff. I normally would be a lot more excited, but I'm not right now. But something might be interesting to you. I found some dragon teeth on a necklace, and they got weird runes.
I'll look at them later.
All right, let's gather up what we can and move on. We can't take the time here. They
Yep.
could.
I'm gonna make sure that I also make sure that we get the leg that was originally Bochek's as well, and I'm gonna make sure that whatever you're collecting the ash in, that the leg is wrapped with it. Like they, and I'm like, his family needs to have all the remains together.
And I lift up the pouch with the money in it, and I just hand that to you, to Basha as well. It's like, that's for his family as well. If some of these other things, especially the weapons, I'd like to keep those with us if we can. I think some of these things could be useful. It kind of looks at the knuckles. It's like, it's not my style, but...
Yeah, Basha takes everything very, quietly. She really doesn't say anything, just kind of mechanically puts it away, keeping it separate from everything else, tying it to her belt, but she just... Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's get out of here, everyone. Let's head out.
If we don't need it, I'm just gonna dispel the disc.
Okay.
Is the chest actually, something that's valuable, too?
It looks valuable, but Gorple, you do notice as you take the pouches out that they are bolted into the stone from the bottom.
Is there no false bottom? I double check.
Yeah, there's no false bottom. It's not a very large chest, but it seemed to have been very important in this shrine for whatever reason.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
All right. So where are you going to head out to from here?
As we're leaving the cave, I kind of hold the cracked hunter's livery and I go, cover our tracks. Let us move quietly, and I'll cast a pass without trace, so that our footprints are no longer trackable unless you use magic. And I go, let's. We know a spot that we can go to, which is that last place we hunkered down when we escorted the monk to safety, and at least we can kind of sit there and maybe recompose ourselves, and we won't be too far away in case we want to destroy them and slaughter them and hurt them in ways that they cannot be repaired.
Okay.
Did those half dragons that were in this room? Did they have anything on them?
Oh, do you want to go through?
Oh yeah.
all
I
those?
mean, if people are gathering up the stuff, it's like, well, those
Okay.
seem more leader types. Let's see what they got. Any information? Obviously, I'm a dwarf. I'm looking for loot too, but also any
All right.
clues or other information they had.
Yeah, make me an investigation check.
Okay. This is one of my stronger skills. But my dwarven instincts at least get me a 17.
Okay. So as you can, and most of the bodies that were in here are now just, a lot of them have been covered, just crushed by some of the rocks that have fallen from the ceiling from the numerous things that have happened in this cavern. The berserkers, they have they looks like just regular great axes. Unfortunately, many of the great axes, the handles and such were like destroyed during the rock slide. The heads seem fine, but many of the handles are just cracked and bent, and they don't seem very usable in this moment. You do find that all of the berserkers are wearing these leather necklaces with a small tooth at the end of them.
Like the ones that were in the pouch.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and two of the teeth are cracked, like they're cracked and destroyed. But you find on the other, I think it's 3, that they're intact. You go to the half dragons, and one of them has a pouch of coin, and in that pouch there is 5 platinum, 23 gold, 13 silver, and 25 copper. His greatsword seems very bent and just mangled from the rubble and the debris. Also wearing a necklace with a tooth at the end of it.
okay.
The second half dragon you go to, the greatsword actually doesn't look, it's covered in rubble, and as you clear it away, it doesn't seem like it's been damaged in any way. In fact, you saw it used multiple times during the fight, and it doesn't seem to be any scratches, any nicks. And it's beautiful. Like the actual blade itself, it's definitely like a metal of some sort, but it's just black. And there are like this scrolling runes that seem to emulate dragon tails, coiling into each other.
Oh, shug it. Give an eye to take a look at this bad boy. He gives it a sniff. It's like, any idea what the metal is? Has he encountered this metal before?
It seems like it's probably iron, but there's definitely I would say, especially given your background, you can definitely say possibly magical in nature, but it's an enchanted. It seems to be enchanted in some way.
Yeah. Amala, might have an upgrade for you. Use it on them instead. He tosses, if the thing's got a sheath or something, he pulls that off, sheaths it, and tosses it to her.
Yeah,
like,
there was a sheath on the back, yeah.
This thing seems to have survived all the battle without a scratch on it. It's probably got to keep an edge better than anything else. We should check that out too.
Oh, well, thank you, Drogar.
Okay. Another necklace with a tooth on it.
We've
And
gotten 5 from those guys.
and another pouch filled with coin. This one, 8 platinum pieces, 6 gold, 56 silver, no copper.
Okay. I collected that up and just tuck it in a pocket for the time being. We'll hand it back to our money person.
Okay.
Once we get
when
out
your
of
money person is capable of counting,
when
yes.
she's willing to think about numbers again.
Fair enough.
Okay, so yeah, he'll hang on to the stuff that he got off of those guys as everyone else is packing up. It's like, all right, let's get out of here.
All right. So you're making your way back to the campsite that you were at? Okay.
As they walk, they hear Amala just like muttering in Draconic, and Gorpal can hear that it's like a prayer for Bocek.
Okay. And you said you wanted to desecrate the...
Yes, I would like to desecrate the shrine. I was joking in chat about like, oh, it's just like rude drawings and words all over everything.
Okay. All right. Well, to truly desecrate something, you got to pee all over it.
All over it.
Yeah. But
everyone helps. It's great.
Yes. Yeah. But in this instance, like, what exactly are you doing to desecrate this shrine?
I will do my best to make it look like all the heads are like detached from the necks of all the heads for the dragons, and just trying to make it look as like unnoticeable as like, oh, how would I put that? I want to make it so Tiamat isn't necessarily recognizable.
Okay. Then I will say, make me a strength check. So a D20 and add your strength modifier.
I know we have a group inspo. Can I use it?
Yeah, you have 1 group inspo right now.
Much better. That's a dirty 20.
Okay. As your group is beginning to leave Basha, Gorpal, and Rovar, you begin to hear what sounds like the breaking of stone. And as you kind of turn around, you watch as Amala is just with her bare hands, just breaking the heads off of the shrine. Just and then you kind of like throw them to the ground, smashing them to pieces. And as you just kind of step back, it literally just looks like a 5-headed beheaded dragon.
This is what we're going to do to her when we find her.
Damn right we will.
You slowly begin kind of making your way back to the campsite. Thankfully, there's not much in the way of any resistance, as you pretty much have taken care of up until this point most of the resistance coming in. You make your way back through the shaft, climbing up the rope ladder into the semi-opulent cavern room that seems to have been the bedroom of Mondath, at least the leader that you are aware of here in this camp. Continue out through the exit back into the tented area, which, again, at this point in time, as you're kind of looking around, seems to still just be occupied at this moment by a number of dead bodies, mostly that you can see of the mercenaries that were hired, and possibly just those who did not see eye to eye with the cult as they were making their way out of this camp. None of the tents are still up. None of the huts are still there. They're either torn down and taken or just destroyed at this point. But easily enough, you're able to kind of make your way to a section that you stood at previously and make that into a makeshift camp as well. having a good view, a 360 view of the area, including the cave entrance itself as well. You begin to make your camp, quiet and solemn, contemplating everything that's happened. Not just the battle, but the unfortunate semi-resurrection and destruction of your friend Bocek. A lot has happened. So seems to be more questions now than answers. And as you are weary and hurting, both physically and emotionally, you begin to take the time to try and possibly answer some of these questions, but also heal your wounds and figure out your next steps. And that is where we're going to call it for the evening.
And we get a long rest?
You can start taking it if you like. We'll see what happens.
Perfect.
We'll see what happens next week. Don't hit that long rest button, because you don't know.
Oh my god.
Because you have not cleared out those tunnels yet completely. So just be aware. You would know that in game, so just be aware.
This was a roller coaster today.
This was a giant roller coaster.
Emotional damage.
You're welcome. So at this moment in time, Bocek is you can hear it. My personal mod, my beautiful wife just heard all of that and is cracking up. So Bocek at this moment is not with us. Will not be playing as a character, but that does not mean that Matt is going anywhere.
Leaving forever.
Oh no! No!
But I need my Force Ghost of Ghost Check to occasionally give me bad advice about sparing people.
Oh my god.
Oh, that'd be amazing. That's amazing. But we will see what happens next week. Matt will still be with us, even if that just means in spirit, but also here, just to fuck with everybody, because I love Matt. That is now what Ghost Check has to do every single time.
Ghost Check.
Guys, one more beer. Drink one more beer.
5 out of 10. Why Ghost Check? Why?
But
Ghost Check, I'm trying to sleep.
Drink more beer.
It doesn't affect me and taste bad.
Do we have a bag of holding? We could just stuff them in.
That would be fun. I would love that. But anyway, so we're gonna call it for the evening. As I said, it was a great game, everybody. And it's not over yet. So we'll see what happens come next week. And when there is a player death, it does add to the story. It does lend a certain weight to the things that the characters do. So we will see how this impacts our players moving forward. If they will spiral out of control, if they will, if their resolve is confirmed. They know exactly what they need to do now. A number of things can happen. And I can't wait to see what that's going to be.
Strike hard, strike first, no mercy. What?
We're Cobra Kai now?
Yeah, we're Cobra Kai. I don't understand the question.
So I see this as like an Orifice and Eurysthenes like thing where we're just gonna go down into hell and get Bocek back?
No, we're gonna Anakin it. We're gonna slaughter them like animals, because that's what they are.
Ghost of Bocek say, Kick a Tiamat in the cloaca.
Done.
All of
New
them.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
that's the new T-shirt.
You've got the inside scoop from Ghost Check. Tiamat 100% cloaca. Make it happen.
Right.
But anyway, yeah. So amazing game. I can't wait to see what happens. Yeah, and this is part of D&D. This is why I love D&D, because who knows what's going to happen moving forward. But things will never be the same. That's definitely for sure. Things are definitely in motion, and we'll see how that plays out. So, with that, I want to give some love. I want to thank again my wonderful players, my fabulous players. Thank you so much. My wonderful mod, my personal mod, my beautiful wife, Mama Shady. And also thank you, Unconventional Heroes. Thank you, Gene, for another resub for 11 months, 3-month streak. Thank you so much for the support. And thank you to all of you who have just kind of stuck with us, watching the shenanigans that happen here, and supporting us by just being here. Like, honestly, I mean, I can't tell you enough how much it means to us that you actually just want to watch the craziness that happens every week. We love you so much for that support. So thank you so much. As we end, as always, we always try to share the love with someone else. So when we end, don't run away. We are going to raid someone who not only has shown us support in the past, but is definitely deserving of support as well. So when we actually raid them, if you're not following them already and you're so inclined, please follow them. Say hello in chat if that's something that you care to do. But at the very least, show the love like you showed us by just watching them and supporting them in that way. Trust me when I say that is more than enough, especially for what we do here. So thank you again so much. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. We love you so very much, and we will see you next time. Take care.